Hey everybody, it's Arlissa and I am back with another video. I want to share with you what happens when you're on the wrong side of the opening range breakout and what you need to do along the way in order to counteract that. All right, let's get into it. Well, alrighty, we're looking at Friday, getting ready to look at Friday, April the 24th. I'll put it up here at the top. Friday, April 24, 2026. That's what we're looking at today. So I want to share with you what does it look like for the opening range breakout for a seller, and then what happens when you're on the wrong side of that. Okay? What happens when you're on the wrong side of that? So let's go ahead with our replay and see what we come up with. Okay, it's starting. First of all, SPX gapped up. First thing in the morning, SPX gapped up. And it gapped up to here. So we got a gap up first thing from the close on Thursday at 71.08, and it gapped up to about 71.36. Somewhere in this general area is where it gapped up to. Immediately, first 2-minute candle, it gaps up and then starts to retrace. All right, it starts retracing. So now we're looking to see that is this going to be a negative fill the gap? Is this going to be a continuation to the downside? You know, we're starting to look. Opening range breakout, we want either 15-minute or 30-minute breakout. Y'all know I'm a fan of the 30-minute breakout, but sometimes I'll get a little antsy. Oh my goodness, sometimes we get a little antsy and we jump in a little quick. And I know I'm not by myself when that happens. So don't feel like, what? You do that? No, you do too. You get a little antsy too, okay? So we're on the 5-minute chart now. We had a drop down to 71.22. About half of the gap is filled at this point. Almost 3/4 of the gap is filled. A little bit more of it falls. We're at 950. Okay, I'm going to pause it because our opening range breakout would really be the top here, you know, top of this to the low of these first 3 candles. That would be our opening range if we're looking at the 15-minute opening range. If we're looking at the 15-minute, let me move this down so we can see it. If you look at the 15-minute opening range, that would be the extent of it, right? Just these first 3 candles. I'm letting it go because we see in the next 15 minutes that there is a little bit more of a drop. So even if we look at the 30-minute, 15-minute opening range, price has come out of this opening range, but is not staying out. So we don't have a clear entry at this point. If you're looking at the 15-minute, there is no clear entry. Now, if we move it to the 30-minute, then there we are. I'm switching us to the 15-minute candle. All right, so these first 2 candles would be the 30-minute opening range. If we're looking to see what is the opening range and when do we get our breakout. Okay, now we've got another candle that's forming. Price is still not broken out. If we're looking at do we have a breakout or not, and then price starts to retrace. All right, now let's say after that first 15-minute breakout, I'll move this candle back up. This first 15-minute breakout, you see these 2 candles back here, right? I want to go back in time a little bit because I do want to show you what this candle looks like on a smaller time frame. If we're on the 5-minute time frame, what happens with that next candle and that next break? That could potentially have us thinking that we're going to break more to the downside. We could be thinking, yep, we're probably going to break to the downside. There we go. We've got a little bit of a breakout here. Price does actually close on this candle. It closes outside of the opening range. It is lower than the opening range right here at this 950 candle. What does the next candle do though? All right, we get another drop. We're dropping down. These are 5 minutes though, so it still hasn't closed. This is where we would want to see, is it closing outside of this opening range? It is dropped out here, but not closed out here. Okay, I want to make sure I make a little note here. You want to make sure that you wait Nope, I don't want you there. I want to, there we go, a little bit of words. I want to put this here. We want to wait for candle close. We want to wait for the candle to close. Why is that? Because when we're looking here, if we were watching this candle fill, this candle would have dropped. It dropped down actually to a moving average, and then it recovered. It did not close outside of the opening range. But some of us anticipate, oh, this is going to be okay. This is going to keep going. And what happens? And what happens up here? 71.55, 71.60 call credit spread. Why did I write that there? Because that's what happened. We take a trade based on this downwards motion that really has not confirmed that it's going to keep going downwards. There is no confirmation here at this point. It looks like it might be this right here. This wick may have given you insight that it's going to keep going down. It's going to keep going down. And then what happens? We get another drop. I'm going to take this off so we can see another drop. Again, not closing out here though. It drops below the opening range, but all we have down there is wicks. All we have is wicks that are closing. So wick and wick, these are both outside of the opening range, but they're not confirming that you're really going to be in the outside range. You don't have confirmation yet that it's really outside. The majority of this gap has been filled. If we're looking at the gap, the majority of this gap is now filled. This is all that's left of the gap. But we want it to, we think it's going to fill all the way, but just know and remember that the bottom of a gap is also potentially going to play support. The edges of gaps play support. Now we're back at VWAP. Price is back at VWAP, and it is now saying up. I think I might want to go up. I might want to go up. And what does it do? It does just that. These are the times, even though price is kind of hanging in this window, price is hanging around VWAP and has now gone across VWAP. We do have some indication here that these two candles, they were, again, outside of the opening range, but they wicked out there. They didn't stay out there. These are signs that, whoa, Raggy, we might have an issue. All right, this trade, this 71.55.60 may be in trouble. Figuring, yeah, it might hold up and it might not, right? We've got a 2-2 reversal, very doji-ish, so there's still indecision happening. This is our next 15-minute candle, still hanging in the zone. It's still kind of hanging around. And then a very clear push to the upside. Now we've got a 2-3. We've got a 2-3 going. And we have broken out to the top side. Price is clearly above VWAP. This is the indication time that the trade just might be, this may be time. Even though this is time to go, you're thinking, as a seller of options and credit spreads, you're thinking, okay, it's at 71.333. That is 20 points away from my stock, from my strike. That's 20 points away from my strike. But price is starting to push in your direction. What do you do? All right. In this case, took in 60 cents for this trade. What could be a good stop loss for a trade? I really try to go with like a 3x. And 3x would be, once this trade gets to be worth $1.80, it's time to go. I received 60 coming in. Stop loss of 3x says once it gets to worth $180, it's time to go. To me, anything much smaller than this, you do have to give some room for the trade to do what it's going to do. But if you are at 3x of a stop loss, if the worth of the trade is 3 times what you took in, it's probably time to exit. This is time to exit. Price hasn't gotten there quite yet. It's kind of dancing around. It's starting to do its thing. But at this point, you're watching so close. Ooh, I'm watching so close. Now we are out of the opening range and we're out to the top side. Price has closed outside of the opening range to the top side. What time is it now? It really is put credit spread time. It's PCS time. Okay, it's really PCS time. All the indicators say it's PCS time. But you know what's happening? If you're anything like me, you're still watching up here. Can't even concentrate down here because you're thinking, no way is this, my trade is in trouble. A good PCS would have been a 71 05, no, 7110, 7115 put credit spread. And I say or lower because you could go below 7100 because you might want to be below the psychological number of 7100. That's really what should happen next. But when we're caught in a trade where we're in something and we're having to watch it, many times we can't even process what we should do down here. We can't even process the fact that this trade has done a whole dealio and it is not doing what we thought it was going to do. This one here, it's time to go. It's time to go on the 71, 55, 65, 60. And that's actually what happened. This happened on Friday. I closed the trade. I closed it for a loss in copy trading. Nobody was comfortable with that, especially me. Definitely closed it for a loss. And then you got this massive push that pushed right into the strikes. Pushed right into the strike. 71.55.60. Current price closes at 71.56. This trade is now breached. Now, even if your stop loss, if you don't use the 3x stop loss here, the full stop, if you want to call it that, full stop is when sell leg is breached. Our full stop is when the sell leg is breached. Especially if there's a big push happening and you don't see any sign of a turnaround, that's your full stop. When the sell leg is breached, in this case it is, then it's all the way time to go. It's time to go. Generally, if your sell leg is breached, you're probably at 250, something like that. And when the sell leg is breached, that's probably where you're going to be as far as value of that trade is probably at 2 or 250, 2 or 2.5. All right. Price does keep pushing through here. It does stop and stall. I can take us to a larger, higher time frame, but this is what price continues to do. It kind of dances in this area for a while. It pulls back some, like it's really gonna, now I'm going to act right. You know, it starts looking like it's going to act right. And then it kind of dances around in this area. So as you're watching price action, we do see there is some reversal that's happening here. This is where you could start watching and looking for a call credit spread above these numbers, because you do see that there is a reversal. There is a strong rejection up here in this area, maybe 71.70, 71.75 CCS. You can start looking up here for some trades because price, like I said, is rejecting up in this area, and those strikes should be fine. 71.70, 75, or even if you want to go a little higher, because 70, it closed at 71.65, which might have felt like a little bit close, or higher. I'll put. You want to go as high as you're comfortable, 71, 80, 85. As long as you can get some premiums that justify the trade, I suggest you go with it. All right, let me recap real quick. Oh, before I move any further, I want to take a pause for us to go ahead and like and subscribe and hit the notification bell and do all the things you should do on YouTube, just so we can make sure that people can continue to enjoy this content. All right, so you can and other people can and continue to enjoy this content. Okay, so let's keep going. We're at the end of this. You see this big U shape down here. According to the strat, this 1-2 reversal right here, the break to the upside, if you were in a call credit spread, this would have been the time to really start looking at exiting the trade, because it's looking like your conviction or your original thesis for what this trade is being disproven. The original thesis for what this trade is actually doing, you were going down. Once we break to the upside here, it's no longer doing that. This is where you exit the trade, because your thesis that you originally thought was happening is now bunk. It's now gone. All right. So really exit down here where this one gets broken. Then we've got the 3x stop loss. That's like exit number 2 if you didn't exit the first time. And exit 3 is when the sell leg is breached. All right. It's always easy to look back at it and see what you should have done different on the backside. Hindsight is 2020, isn't it? It is always so much easier to go back to the chart and see exactly what you should have done. You can say, well, actually right here, I remember, I know, I get it. In the moment when all of the things are going and moving inside of your head, it can be very difficult to make a decision that is going to follow your guidelines and follow your rules. All right. That's why we set those rules. If you need to in the moment to pull them out and do a quick little check on your checklist, that's always a good thing. Just know that even as the coach, I get it wrong, right? Even as the leader, I get it wrong. The trade I'm talked about in this video is a trade I actually took and waited way too long to leave the trade. All right. Hoping and believing it was going to be okay. And just didn't go. Other things were going on in the midst of the platforms, and they caused some issues. And basically, I ended up taking a loss in this area. And I can look back clearly at the time that I should have been gone. What should have happened? Maybe I shouldn't have even entered. These are all the things that you think about after the fact. Okay. So give yourself grace. Just know that, hey, we all go through it. And what we do is we learn from every experience. We learn from every experience. So hey, remember, I've got the membership where I do teach and coach and train. I do have copy trading where if you want to copy and follow along with doing that hands free, you can do that, where I'm doing the trading and you're just benefiting from the connection. All right. And yeah, any other resources that you want to see that are seller resources, they're all found at my website, educatortotrader.com. You can find all these links in the description. All right, let's stay green and let's get this money. All right.